Hi, this is Sean with Your Work, Your Success. I'm outside shoveling snow today. We got a little bit of snow. It's kind of snow. It's kind of annoying actually. It's not enough to pull out the snowblower, but it's enough that if I leave it on the ground, then it's just going to turn to ice as we drive over it for the rest of the winter. So I'm out here with the shovel. But it gives me a really good opportunity to tell you about something and to kind of demonstrate something that you can use for your development. And that is the value of being alone with your own thoughts. Now, I work in a job that's pretty technical, and a lot of times I'm thinking all day. I'm doing some pretty complex things, and even at home, my hobbies are fairly technical. Putting together this YouTube channel involves a lot of technical things, or I have to do a lot of thinking. But there's value in some repetitive tasks, some things that you just want to let your mind wander. And there's something I heard on a podcast fairly recently, and it's that this is the first time in human history, the last 50 years, 100 years, whatever, that we have been without long periods of time without somebody else's thoughts in our heads. Now think about it. You're out often, if somebody'd be shoveling snow like I am, you'd have your earphones in, you'd be listening to music, you'd be listening to a podcast, doing whatever, or you're watching TV, or you're surfing the internet, and you're not alone with your own thoughts. But I intentionally, when I'm out shoveling snow or cutting the grass, weeding our flower garden, whatever, I intentionally don't put any other sound on, any other distraction on, and I just let myself be alone with my own thoughts. And the reason is, it's really good for you. This is when, for me, I get most of my ideas. This is when I get most of my ideas for this channel. In fact, like I did today. I'm here, I'm shoveling, I'm just going back and forth. Now it doesn't take too much skull work. But what it does is it lets my mind think through some things and come up with ideas. So that's why I thought I'd demonstrate in this episode. And so as I'm shoveling along, if I get an idea, I'll just take a break for a minute and record a little bit. So let's see how it goes. So this isn't even something that I do just by accident. Sometimes it's not on purpose. So if I'm shoveling snow or whatever, it's just I let my mind wander, and and thoughts just come to me, ideas come to me, which is really good. And that's common for a lot of people. But there's ways you can do it on purpose, intentionally. This is where journaling comes in. A lot of people recommend journaling. Write down your thoughts. I really enjoy it, but I don't give as much time to it as I'd like. But just get a notebook and or do it on the computer, whatever. And I've even read something that said there's value in cursive writing when you're journaling. Your mind does different things. I know they don't even teach that in school anymore, but there's value in that. Just kind of getting alone with your thoughts. And it doesn't. You don't even have to write in a certain direction. You just kind of start putting thoughts down and stringing them together, and it just, that's where a lot of ideas can come from. Or something else that happened to me just last week. I had a fairly complex thing that we were gonna do at work. A couple guys were coming to help me with something, and it involved a whole sequence of activities. And I happened to wake up early, and I'm lying in bed. And it's like 4 o'clock, which is not a major crisis for me. I normally get up at 5, but it's 4 o'clock, and I'm lying in bed, and I'm thinking, oh, well, okay, we got to do this. Oh, okay, that doesn't work if I do this. I have to do that thing first. Oh, wait a minute, what if I have to put this other thing or if I have to do this other thing before that? And it just, I'm lying there for an hour and work through the whole problem. And just because I'm not reading somebody else's work, I'm not listening to somebody else, I'm just thinking. I'm just letting the thoughts go. And this is, like I said, this can be really valuable to you. Okay, so what do you do with all these thoughts? Well, one thing is, you got to write it down. Really, I've heard a few people say this. It's kind of a clever idea that your head is a really good place for coming up with ideas, but it's a really lousy place to store them. It's you know, we if we let ourselves be creative, if we let ourselves kind of work through a problem in our heads, or come up with a different way to do something, or whatever, we can come up with all sorts of thoughts. But and all sorts of good ideas. You can come up with a lot of bad ideas too, which is great. And But as you're doing it, don't try to just memorize it all. Write it down. A lot of people carry notebooks. I have my phone. I use the note app on my phone, and I will often write things down. It just lets you remember it. Or you don't then have to remember it on your own. You've got something where it's recorded. Oh, hey. I just came up with what your assignment should be for this one. See, you can see this is the technique in action. So what I want you to do is I want you to find things that you do. You can use my example of you're shoveling your driveway or whatever, or just taking a walk. I do the same thing when I'm walking my dogs, or whatever. But I want you to get alone with your own thoughts. I want you to carve out some time, and don't put in headphones. Don't put on music. Nothing. Just let yourself think. And for some of you, this is going to be a stretch. This is really going to be a challenge, because maybe you have not been without input ever, or for a very long time. So this is a skill that you're going to have to learn. It's a muscle you're going to have to work. So what I want you to do is just find some time, and every day this week, I want you to get alone with your own thoughts. And I want you to, whatever comes to you, I want you to write it down. Whether you think it's smart or stupid, I want to put, I think we could build a stairway up Mount Everest and harvest the snow, or whatever. It doesn't matter what the idea is. It doesn't have to be grand like that. It just, it can be. I think if I do the dishes 3 times a day instead of once a day, maybe it would be a more efficient way, or something like that. It doesn't matter. Like I said, big, small, or maybe it's just ideas where you're thinking, oh, I wonder how this works, and you just kind of work through it. You just work through it in your own head. You're not going to read anything. You're just going to kind of process it and let yourself think. So that's what I want you to do this week. Just every day, set aside some time, or it doesn't even have to be the same time every day. It isn't for me. And when you get a thought, write it down. Write it down in your phone. Write it down in paper. Whatever. Doesn't matter. Just write down some points about it. Not word for word. Just kind of put that in. So there's your assignment for this week. Well, there you go. As part of my as I was doing all that shoveling and thinking through random things, I was thinking, boy, you know what? I think I'll just end this episode by once I'm done the driveway, and that's it. That's the end of the driveway. That's the end of the episode. Well, it turns out that the iPhone battery, when it's about -20, it doesn't really last as long as my driveway when I'm trying to record on the camera. So anyway, that was it. And I realized this episode has been kind of a lot of random thoughts, but that was the whole point, wasn't it? That there are, it's good for you to think through these things. It's good for you to have time in your own head. You can do it on purpose, and set some time aside. Also, you can do it just as it happens, as things flow to you. You've got the assignment. Make sure that as you're doing this, you write some notes down. Whatever you thought. Maybe there's some bad ideas, maybe there's some good ideas in there. It doesn't really matter. It's what this is part of your development, and it's a habit that I want you to get into and learn how to just get in your own head and think through these things. Now, if you're really looking for something to think about, you might think about this. Another random thought that everybody's pushing electric cars now. well, what are we going to do when it's minus 20, minus 40 out here at our house? You know, how's that battery supposed to last that amount of time? Anyway, something for you to think about, and just another little ramble from me. Anyway, this is your work, your success. Subscribe to the channel so you get all the episodes, and we'll see you next time.